Here we go. Welcome back to the Real Estate Forecast. Hopefully, we're about to have Keston jumping in here soon. He is our guest this week, and hopefully, he's going to be awesome. Seen a lot of his posts on Instagram lately, and that's what really drew me in to want to have him in today. I've talked to him maybe once on a Zoom before, and possibly he was looking at a deal that I'd had going with an agent, but let's see if we can get him in here. We've been having some trouble. There we go.
Finally got it, bro. Finally got it.
Keston. Yes, sir. We did. Thank you. Awesome. Good. How you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, man. I was a little bit stressed out there. I was like, man, I can't figure out how to get this going, but I'm glad we finally got to do it. So welcome. Really happy that you came on today. So I was kind of talking. Yeah. I was kind of just talking about how, like, I didn't really know that much about you, but I've been seeing some of your Instagram posts recently, and they've really been reaching to me and like kind of talking to me, and I've been really taking them to heart. So that's like one of the reasons that I wanted to have you on today. I just wanted to let you know that.
Absolutely, bro. I appreciate that. Yeah, and it's kind of been my life's mission too, right? To spread that kind of message. So because the thing is, I could talk about real estate. I could talk about all the deals that I've done. I've accomplished a great deal. My wife and I, we've been able to go from having one unit to now having over 57 units and over like over $6 million in real estate assets. And we've accomplished a ton, and I could talk about that. But what I've realized, bro, is that it's not a matter of the lessons that it's not a matter of the knowledge that we learned. It's more of the mindset and approaching and being able to go after these goals, because many people don't realize that it's a self-development journey. And the more you work on yourself, the more that you're able to build the habits to be able to get over your addictions. And I love talking about addictions because it just makes people be like, man, I don't have an addiction, but we're all addicted to something, right?
Everybody. Yeah,
we're all addicted to something. And once we're able to build new habits to get past those addictions, the world is open, bro. And so that's kind of why my message is what it is on social media.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. So, what's crazy about that is my wife and I, or fiance and I, have we went through several years of really bad addiction. And when we finally came out of it, we've been clean since 11/26/20. So that's almost 2 years. Yeah, thank you.
Congrats, man. That's good stuff.
Yeah. So we're doing well on that. And I came out and I got into the real estate world, and I see it, and I'm like thinking about all the money. And then I went to Clever Summit. Like, I got a free ticket. So it's just like a crazy happening thing.
Yeah.
And then when I got back home, I was like, well, I still got a lot of work to do on myself. Like, before I can, it's like I had learned too much almost.
Yeah.
and I was like, I really need to work some things out through myself so that I can really be able to achieve some of these things that, I want to achieve. Yeah.
And here's the beautiful part about what you just said. And you may not know this, but typically people who are addicts in one area, once you're able to overcome that addiction and not stop being an addict, but now you repurpose that ability to go after something, because that's how we got to think about it, right? Like when you have the ability, and whether it's drugs, alcohol, I was addicted to sex and pornography and those types of things. But it's when you're able to overcome those addiction and your ability to need to have this thing so much, and you're able to change it and repurpose it and place it somewhere else, something positive. Like my ability to go to the gym and work out every single day, that's an addiction, bro.
Yeah.
It just has a positive effect on me. Right? Like,
absolutely.
We are all addicted to something. If we're able to accept that and change our addiction. Some people are addicted to TV. Some people are addicted to their kids, right? Like, that's why there's this empty nester syndrome where you're so addicted. When they leave, they grow up and they leave, we can't get past the thought of dealing without them. And so now you go on this self-discovery of who you are or who you want to be. And you're in your 60s, you're in your 50s, and it's almost like life just starts, because this addiction, you didn't stop it on your own. It left. This thing left when it comes to kids, right? And so if we're able to go through this self-development of understanding the things that we love, the things that we've done, and focus it in something else, we'd all be super successful.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. You know, it literally doesn't matter what it is. Somebody has that thing that they go to, and it's either a good coping thing or it's a bad coping thing. Like, you're gonna go to something no matter what.
Yeah.
You just have to divert it to which way, and that's a really powerful thought. When you're able to apply that to something like real estate, like, what I've been doing is I've been reading a lot of books, like I've been reading Prosperity Consciousness and stuff about the subconscious mind and how that works. And I just realized that, I need to be making my calls, but also I need to be working on myself at the same time. So it's like, I'm talking to all my friends in the real estate world. They're like, we're getting up at 4 a.m. I'm like, yeah, okay, I need to start working towards that. Like, instead of like wearing myself out on like, all right, let's like wake up at 9 a.m., roll out of the bed, make a bunch of calls. Like, no, let's get up and do this the right way. And that's kind of literally where I've reverted back to, like, where I'm really at right now. So
yeah.
I'm feeling really well, and
that's awesome.
It's just the action's got to come behind all of it. So I'm excited about that. How was it for you when you first kind of got into the real estate thing? What was it, for you?
So I'll give a quick story of how I got into real estate, and it really starts off, man, with before, right? We're always preparing for something before you actually get into it. And what got me obsessed and really like into real estate is studying and understanding what wealthy people do. And that study and why I started studying it was because of this feeling that there's so much more to life, like going to work every single weekday and just feeling like, I don't want to say depressed, but that inner thought of knowing that there has to be more to life, that kept plaguing and dawning on my spirit. And if I remember clearly, like being with my boss, being in this conference room where I had that feeling. And every time I have the feeling, the opposite also comes, where it's like, but what about your insurance? What about your kids? You got a wife. Like, are you really about to take this risk and step out to try to become this entrepreneur and go after this feeling and this dream? And so, man, I was at my job at least 8 years more than I needed to be there. And it was because I kept feeling trapped by my own thoughts. And when COVID happened, that's when a lot of things changed for me, because that is when I started to realize things and how much I was a bad planner, how much of a terrible employee I actually was, because I only did what I was told to do by my boss. And now that you have all of this time, and at this point in time, I was trying to be, I started learning real estate in January of 2020. I just wasn't getting a lot done because I didn't know how to manage my time properly. And so what I did while I was still at work was I hired a high performance coach. And this coach helped me so much to understand how to manage my time. One of the big things she helped me with was being able to give my 9-to-5 job, my business, and my family the right amount of time. Because what started to happen was I started to neglect my family. And you know, that doesn't go well, because
right.
it actually contradicts the reason why we're doing what we're doing. Because we say that we're making money for our family, but we end up taking all this time away from them, and they end up missing you, and nothing happens. You're worse off making money, but having an unhealthy relationship. And that started to happen to me. And my coach was able to give me the tools, man, to be able to give and distribute my time 100% to everything so that nothing was falling. Mm-hmm. And once I started to get those skills, bro, every single thing started to fall in place. I got the confidence, I got everything that I needed, and I left my 9-to-5 job. And when I say everything that I needed, I mean the ability to plan and structure my day to go out and make things happen. And so when I left my job without getting one deal, I hadn't gotten a deal yet, right? Took a severance package, went out and started to serve my wife, and we moved to Atlanta. We just started crushing it, man. Within 6 months, I had made over 1.5 times how much I made at my 9-to-5 job off the bat, bro. And I knew it because of these high performance habits. And I already told you from that, now we're over $6 million in real estate. And that's what really got me into it, man. Just wanting to provide, that inner feeling of knowing that there was more to life. And now that I've gotten to a certain place in real estate, I'm doing my purpose now, which is offering people the same thing that I got when I was still a 9-to-5er. And so I got certified to become a high performance coach. And that's the reason why I'm so passionate about it, man. And we have 1 million real estate seminars and things like that. And I think it's all great. I love every educational platform and course out there. But my purpose, my mission is to help people break that cycle of not understanding the things that they need to do to go out and get success and activate their purpose and success in life.
Wow. That's, as you were talking, I was really thinking, I was like, I wonder what, because, I went to Clever Summit. Did you go to Clever Summit?
I was actually in Miami at another conference.
Okay. Yeah. So I went to Clever Summit. What I was thinking in my head was, well, if he was there, what did he get out of it? Because I know that I've thought a lot and really took it down to my heart of what I've gotten out of going and having that experience. Yeah. Obviously you've been to them, and so I guess what do you feel, or where do you look to go when you do go to those? Is it to still do your purpose of what you're trying to do now, or is it you're going there to network with your buddies that you've made and things like that?
Such a good question, bro. And I learning never ends. And I want you to understand that. Although I'm walking in my purpose, my ability to help people is based on my success in real estate. And I'm not giving real estate up. Real estate is the avenue that's giving me the ability to do my purpose, right? And so when I go to one of these events, my job is to be able to assess where I am before I go to the events. Where am I? What do I need? Who do I need? Like it's more of a who than what when you go to these places. Who do I need to meet? And I think when you understand and I get clear about, okay, these are my breaking points in my business right now. So let's say I have a money problem. If I need to raise more money, I'm going there looking for private money lenders. And so my conversation would be geared towards that. The things that I hear would be geared towards that. If I need to generate more leads, then the things that I go in for, the conversations that I have when someone is speaking, I'm just filtering through my needs and what I'm looking to get out of it. I think what most people miss when they go to these events is not going with an intention and with a purpose. When you don't have a purpose going into these events, you miss everything because it becomes overwhelming because you're trying to take everything, right? Don't take everything. Take what you need for you at that very moment, because that is going to stress you out. That is going to make it feel like, oh my God, like, where do you even start?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it kind of felt like that when I came home. It really did.
Exactly.
Of course, it was my first one. I was like new in real estate, so of course it did. But
I wish I had somebody to tell me, man.
Home. Yeah, well, you know, I think I kind of did. I had a experience because our luggage got lost on our flight there, and it had all my fiance's medication in there. So like on the half day, I had to run around Las Vegas to CVS to it was crazy. So it kind of broke it up for me. Unfortunately, I missed Pace, which was the reason that I really wanted to be there. But it kind of broke it up for me. So I didn't get quite all of it. And then at the end, the make money matter, like that's when it really started kicking in my head of, all right, this is like more of a place I feel like I would want to be coming from than, where my mind originally was when I heard the word real estate and like getting in real estate. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And it goes down to that why, right? Why are you in real estate? If that's not defined, then at some point you're going to quit because it's not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy, right? So understanding why you're doing real estate is very similar to making money matter, because once you're able to make your whatever you're doing and you tie that why to it, like, am I doing it to be able to get cash flow to do this? Now, the difference with just doing it for yourself and making money is that you can live without something. For example, if it is that your family is not rich, let's say you're not rich, you're middle class, and it's like, man, you know what? We should eat peanut PJ sandwiches for the next 12 months. We'll be okay with doing that. It's okay to say, hey, family, let's not shoot after these goals, and everyone would get used to eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for years, because that's going to be normal. That's going to be what you've done, what your family does, right? But if it is that you have this why in your head where it's, I need to get this cash flow so that I could then go on and do this, you don't stop. The PJ sandwiches would only be for a period of time because your goal is over there. It's not for you. Anytime you make it only about you, some people get it done, But a lot of people stop before it because you could live, like you could adapt and adjust down. But if you make it bigger than you, where you have something past yourself, you would have to hit your own goals because your goal is for somebody else. And so start like clarifying that why, who you want to help, why are you investing, putting that why in front of everything makes you push. It wakes you up at 4 o'clock without an alarm clock. That happens to me, man. It's just because of that why.
Yeah, it's so strong. And it's something that, like, literally I've been working through for, since I got back from Clever Summit. It hit me that deep, like being in that room and seeing, the money raised for the cause that it was raised for, and just really taking a step back and seeing that was something special for me. And I'm glad that was the part that resonated with me the most, because even some of those people that may come out, and they do win, and they are doing it for themselves. Well, then I wonder how they're doing internally. Really?
Yeah.
Because, that's just a question that, you'd have to take it case by case. But I mean, I would say it would be hard, struggling at least.
And you see, we go right back to the beginning of the conversation, being able to deal with the internal, that self-development, right? Yeah. Like we could go to try to learn a ton of stuff about money and investing and all of that. But if our internal isn't resolved, if we don't know why we're doing things, if we're not at a place where we're just able to understand and like you said, like, what are you struggling with inside? What are you dealing with? Understanding that, resolving that, becoming whole as a person shoots you off to another level of success, because those things aren't keeping you back. You're not struggling with that level of imposter syndrome. And I think at times it becomes inevitable as you grow, because you're always going to be somebody else. You're always looking in the future to become who you're not right now. And so there are moments where you would feel like an imposter. But I believe, and this is my belief, to defeat imposter syndrome, you need to understand your intentions as to why you're doing something. And if you know that your intentions are pure and your motives are pure, you are able to do that thing and believe it today for who you want to be in the future. I think it's a code, it's a cheat code for anyone to be able to overcome imposter syndrome.
Man, that's crazy. Imposter syndrome. When you say imposter syndrome, you mean like the feeling that, I'm not worth all of this success that I've had or all this money that I've made, correct?
So people have different meanings of it. And how I used it is in the context of feeling like you don't deserve it, or you're being fake, or, man, I'm not this person. Like, I'm not going to make this post because, Keston, you're not a coach. You haven't done this for 20 years. Who are you to be trying to help somebody else, right? And so you're imposing on this image of the person that you want to be versus who you are at this very current moment. And people struggle with that. Yeah. Because, and I have struggled with that. I'm not excluding myself. I've just learned how to deal with it, because, man, when you go to the Bible, if you've listened to The Secret, all of these things teach you how to, and they tell you to get success, to get a level of abundance, you have to feel good now. You have to believe that you are that today, and your body, your mind, everything will catch up to that belief. Because if you don't believe it and you don't start declaring it, walking in it, acting like if it's true, and just releasing that and just living in that, man, then you'd always be feeling like an imposter.
Yeah.
But you need to own it and feel it today. Act as if it's true today. And it helps you to walking it, and you start attracting the right people, the people who see, they're like, man, this guy is somebody to know. And so you start attracting the people, and like, hey, I got money, I got these things that I see you doing this, or I see your attitude or your post, and they're attracted to you. They want your services, they want your help. Why? Because you believed it now.
Mm-hmm.
Don't wait to try to achieve it in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
Achieve it now in your belief.
Absolutely. I love that, man. I love that. I think it's, it's funny because, one of the reasons that I wanted you to come in was because of just the post that I saw you posting on Instagram. And I
Which one spoke to you the most?
Well, the clarity one was was what got me the first time. And then after I talked to you, I started kind of going through all of them. The first one that hit me was the clarity one. I just think it's, we call it the real estate forecaster. I do. And, I had you on here because I really kind of wanted to talk to you more about that. And that's kind of really what we've talked about. And I've enjoyed it. This has absolutely been awesome for me. I hope you've had a good experience as well.
Absolutely, man.
Is there anything that you want to, shout out, throw out there that, you want to,
Yeah, man, absolutely. And thank you for having me, bro. I have absolutely enjoyed this conversation, and I want to share with you guys something that really helped change my life. And I remember this time, man, where my son and I, well, even before that, I remember this time where I bought a property. And this was before I started investing. This is a few years ago. I was buying a house that my family and I were going to live in. And I had a realtor, but I was doing everything myself. I found this perfect house. It was like well situated, where it had a lot of amenities that I really, really enjoyed. It was great, close to great schools. It had swimming pools and all these types of amenities. Moving to the Queens, Long Island area in New York City. And we moved in. It was about 3 or 4 weeks in. And my son and I, we went to we bought new floaties. We were ready, man. I'm like, come on, man, let's go to the pool, because we've made it, right? Like, let's go. And so we're in line. We get to the front of the line, and there's a line in front of us, everyone looking excited, about to enjoy this Saturday. And when I got to the front, man, and I handed the guy in front, the reception guy, my ID, he said to me, "I'm sorry, you guys can't come in." And I'm like, "Well, what do you mean we can't come in?" He said, "You guys are not members of this county. You don't live in this county." I said, "Dude, I live 5 minutes away. I could literally walk here. Like, what do you mean?" He said, "No, you're not a part of this county." And so at that point, bro, my heart broke. Like, it broke, dude. Like, I didn't even know what I was gonna tell my son, because I got him all hyped up and ready. And so I was just super disappointed, dude. And what I got to realize is that the street that I lived on segmented the counties. like literally that street segmented the counties. And I thought I was being slick because I was paying Queens taxes, but having Long Island amenities. But I didn't consult my realtor. I told him, this is what I wanted. Like, just go through with the transaction. Because I did it all on my own. I didn't tell him some of the things that I wanted to do. And most of us go through life without an expert in our lives, without somebody who has done this before. And so many people ask me, hey, Keston, do you help people like me? And the answer is yes. I help people who are wanting to leave their jobs, who want to have that lifestyle balance, who wants to be able to do more for their family, and they have this internal, there's more to life feeling. And if that's you, hit me up on kestonpurpose.com or on Instagram at kestonpurpose and send me a message. I want to be able to help every single person that is listening to this, because when you're able to have that expert in your life to help you on, man, it changes everything for your family life, for your generations to come. So thank you for having me on, brother.
Hey, absolutely, man. That was great. Definitely, if that's you, I think that would be a wonderful idea. You know, I'm even thinking about doing it myself. You know,
Come on in, man.
you're truly an inspirational guy, Keston, and I'm extremely grateful that I got to talk to you this morning. And I just want you to know that. So,
Likewise.
if,
I'm grateful as well, brother. Thank you
yeah,
for this opportunity to share and connect with you, man. I think connecting is the way of life. And I am extremely humbled that you have me on here. Thank you.
yeah, absolutely, man. Great. Well, let's stay in touch, and I'll be talking to you soon, buddy.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, welcome. Peace out, man.